I would encourage everyone to do what I've been doing recently, and that is to watch some videos from 2020. It is absolutely insane. I mean, the things that you see are difficult to believe that they were real, but we know they were real because we actually lived in that time. And what's more shocking is that a huge chunk of our citizens were encouraging this behavior. I mean, this behavior existed because not just the government was pushing for it, but your own neighbors were pushing for it. And that's what makes it shocking. So I just want to show you one video and then we can discuss it.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this? If this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
Now the reason that this absolutely shocks me is not what the politician is doing. Because the politician has a team of experts and PR specialists that are telling him that this is going to work. And chances are the percentage of vaccine hesitancy lowered after he released this video. So the thing that actually shocks me is that it works, is that the American public enjoys being treated like children. Like, this is the way that you would speak with a 5-year-old child that doesn't want to go to the doctor. You'd be like, well, you go to the doctor, you get some ice cream, Billy. You're telling me there's a vanilla element to it? And this is how the American voter enjoys being talked to. Now, I know some people will say, well, V, I'm American, I'm a voter, I don't enjoy being talked to like this. But I'm not talking about specific cases. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about percentages. I'm talking about masses of people, groups of people that vote for this guy. And they enjoy this. Like, the thing is, if you take this individual and you put him in another country, like you put him in Poland, the Polish people would look abhorred and they would never vote for this guy ever again. But the American people enjoy being lectured like this. And what I mean by it is that there are many reasons why people were vaccine hesitant at the time. Like the working class individuals that I spoke with in Romania during the pandemic, and we're talking about taxi drivers, construction workers, plumbers, hairstylists, like most of the people that I came into contact with. And I was talking with them. I was always curious when I found someone that didn't get the Pfizer communion as to find out why. Why did you not get it? And most of the answers that I got was it's due to the censorship. It's due to the fact that they couldn't have an open and honest conversation about what they are actually thinking on social media without getting death threats, without getting harassed by their neighbors, without getting banned for terms of service violation, without seeing that the influencers that they're watching, the content creator or whomever they like, would get in trouble over saying stuff that people would say on the streets every single day. Or how the mainstream media was treating Joe Rogan when CNN took his video after he got COVID and they used filter in order to make him pale and gray. Like, people noticed that and they found it uncanny. Like they found it suspicious. They couldn't articulate like what's wrong with it or anything like that. It's like, look, you're not treating me like an adult. You're treating me like a child. You think that you are better than me because you are a politician, and it's okay for you to choose what type of information I'm allowed to have access to, what isn't. You're basically manipulating the public conversation online while forcing me to stay at home, and the only way that I can interact with the world is online. And I find that to be incredibly sus. Now, the way to actually reach these people would be to have intelligent conversations and actually treat them as intelligent rather than look down on them. But instead what we see is a doubling down on the looking down. It's eating the boiga element and bribing people with French fries. And again, like looking back at it, it not only seems condescending and petty, but we also have more information that we didn't have back then. Like, we know that politicians were promoting certain things that were proven to be false later on, and yet they were promoting this with an air of smugness, of arrogance, of disdain for anyone that had a different opinion. And when you look at the Twitter files that Elon Musk uncovered when he bought the company, you notice that, yeah, like the government was pushing for censorship. They were funding certain content creators that were boosted by the algorithm, and everyone else would get suppressed. And not only that, like some of the things that they censored turned out to be true. Like, for instance, the Wuhan lab leak. I remember covering it in the beginning, and immediately video gets demonetized, and I look at YouTube's TOS for monetization, and it turns out that, yeah, you can't actually say that. They will demonetize you. Turns out it was true. But at the time, the way that the government was acting, and the fact checker and everyone was like, no, like you are spreading misinformation. And what's more interesting is zero accountability. None of the politicians ever apologized. None of the politicians ever got fired. And it's not, okay, you know, maybe firing a politician doesn't work that way because they go for re-election, and if people vote for them, it's still the same thing. But like, none of the people working under them got fired. None of the experts got fired. None of the fact checkers got fired. Not a single one apologized. And the interesting thing is that most people are looking at this as something that happened in the past and won't happen again. But my question is like, why? Why would it happen again? And I'm not talking about the pandemic, but I am talking about fact checkers, where the government tells you this is the truth, and you have an army of fact checker, an entire censorship apparatus to make sure that people think the truth. And then you find out later on that the truth was actually wrong, and there is absolutely no punishment done for the people that imposed the censorship in the first place. Which leads the question, if there is no accountability, why can't they do it more often? Like, what do they have to lose if they keep doing it? And they can do it with small things, or they can do it in different increments. Like, they can only do it when something important comes up, like an election or some financial interest or something like that, or a legislation that they're desperately trying to push. They can do it then. And again, like people are still, especially people on the left, that they're looking at politicians and the people in the government and the censorship, like they hold the ultimate truth and they can never be wrong. In fact, they are so right that they get to impose their truth upon the population. And I think this is why a lot of people are a little bit dismayed with the concept of democracy, because the whole purpose of democracy is for the citizens to be able to talk with each other, the citizens to be able to think for themselves, to analyze for themselves what they believe and they don't, without the help of the already elected politicians. Because notice how the elected politicians don't try to help you out when making a student loan. Like, they don't come out and say, hey, you know, if you go to gender studies, it is very unlikely you're going to get a job as a cisgender straight man, so you're just going to end up in student debt. Maybe you should become a doctor or a lawyer instead. There's more job positions for that. Where are the fact checkers then? What are the fact checkers when you're signing to buy a new house, or to buy a car, or to make any financial decision that has severe consequences on your future or your lifestyle? No fact checker to be found. But if you have an opinion on the internet, there's an army of well-paid fact checkers in order to make sure that you have the correct opinion. So that's what I got by watching these videos from 2020. And again, I encourage people to actually do that. Like, if you have some time, just look at some videos from 2020. You will be baffled as I was. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And if you want to support the channel, there is a link to my Subscribe Star, as well as a link to my live stream. I do live stream every day, or at least I try to. And if you want to talk to me, just click on the live stream, hit the subscribe button, and you will see when I go live. Take care.